Well, I think this is about all the lighting we're gonna get today, so we'll just start. Hi everybody. So I'm trying to put the camera a little bit further away from me today because I thought that might be a little bit easier and not so like up on my face. Let me know in the comments if this is a better thing. I think it's a little easier too because it's like mounted on the dash. So the reason we're going to meet today is we're going to talk about creating a customer avatar, not just like how you create it, because there's a million things out there about things that you could include, what a typical customer avatar tends to look like. And for those of you that don't know, just so we're all starting from the same base, a avatar is basically a made up person. You look at your customer or the customer that you want to have, and you kind of build this like ideal kind of person, the person that you want to attract to your business, right? And that is what a customer avatar is. And if you're running a nonprofit, your avatar is going to look like the people that you help. So that's what an avatar is, a customer avatar. So what we're going to talk about today is a little bit about like how you build it, but mostly about how you use it, because I feel like that's a gap. I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't actually talk about. And how you build a customer avatar, real quick, kind of run through the paces kind of thing. 'Cause like I said, you could Google it and get 500 different responses about it, right? But how you build an avatar is you think about what your current base looks like and what you want it to look like. And it's things as simple as basic demographic things like age. Is it male or female? Is it, um, like, is it a single? I'm going to make up one so it makes a lot more sense. Is it like a single mom with two kids on a limited income and you're trying to sell them a way to better their circumstance, right? Or is it a person that's oh, here's a good one. Someone that, let's imagine that I'm a shop owner. I have a little boutique downtown and I'm trying to get in probably the higher clientele because it's a boutique and we all know boutiques charge exorbitant amounts of money. So if I am trying to bring in more of that high end customer, I'm probably thinking like women in their late 40s, early 50s, 60s, still actively working, um, still has, access to a significant income, likes a home that is a luxurious home, like it's very decorated, that kind of thing. And I build that person up. And then what are the demographics for that person? What is their lifestyle look like? Do they participate in clubs? Do they are they athletes? That kind of thing. You're writing down what the average life of this person looks like. That's what it is. And it's the person, it's helpful to create two. It's helpful to create a person of where you're at now if you're in an established business, and one that is an example of where you want to be, right? Like who are you trying to attract? And what that helps you do is you kind of look at like where you're at now. And this is kind of moving into like the how you use it part. You look at where you're at now and how do I get to this person over here? Like, how do I attract this kind of audience, right? Because the avatar is a representation of a larger audience, right? You're not likely to find like a whole bunch of people that exactly check off everything that's in your avatar, but you are likely to find groups of people and you can start to figure out where those kinds of people hang out. And by where we mean where they hang out, we're talking like if we are trying to attract people that, are members of country clubs, right? We know that we want to start reaching out to country clubs, right? And seeing if there's any like opportunities for collaboration or advertisement there. If we are trying to, let's say we're trying to do an athlete avatar, we're going to reach out to sports arenas, sports clubs, a lot of teams, that kind of thing, and reach out to those kind of places to try to see what opportunities lie there. So, if we're doing like, sorry, there's a bee very hard trying to get into this car. Um, if there's I have a white car covered in a whole bunch of pollen, so it's just going to keep happening. Um, so if you have if you know that you're trying to get in with, a gym rat, right? Where are you going to go? You're going to go to gyms, right? So those are the kinds of things you want to think about. It's like, who you're trying to attract. Where do those people hang out? And you start using that part of the avatar to kind of locate, like, where do I need to go to meet more people that are like this person, right? And it can be through, and how you do that, you can network, which is by far in a way the easiest way. The higher the dollar amount, the more in person you should expect to do, right? Don't think that you can do luxury or high end by just advertising. It does work, but it doesn't work as effectively as being a human in the room, right? So you could go and be in person at these places, even if it is a lower end item. If you know where people tend to hang out, you can go to that place and, start to form a working relationship with whoever is running there, right? Because they are more likely to work with you in person because they have seen you. Even if after that you go to like an email based kind of thing, they are more likely to work with you because they have met you, right? So then you can start like, the digital transactions kind of thing. After that, advertising, you can try to advertise in their newsletters. You can try to advertise like in their buildings. You can try to advertise, like on social media platforms, because you can narrow in on specific things that people like, and you can advertise to people that have said that they like those kinds of things. Those are like very hands-off kind of ways to do it. Again, you're going to have a higher rate of success if you show up in person, but you will, if you're just trying to cast a broad net to try to catch people that kind of tick these boxes, advertising is a good way to go. It's just expensive, right? And the more narrowed in you can get, because you have your avatar, you can take your avatar and the things that are in your avatar list and bring that to your advertising. And then you can be like, I need, don't, hold on, there's more. When you go through in your advertising and you're like checking off the things that you want, do not get perplexed or disturbed about how small that number gets. So Facebook ads, for example, you can run ads to millions and millions of people. But when you start saying, oh, I only want people that said they like pickleball. I only want people that said they work out 3 times a week. I only want people that say, or that are women. And I only want women that are in their 50s. Oh, and I only want, like what you're going to start to see happening, that millions is going to turn to 1 million. It's going to turn to 100,000. It's going to turn to 50,000, and it might get all the way down to like 5,000, right? I wouldn't go too much lower than that, because you start running into issues of like, are these people even like still using the platform that you're working with? Or, like we've seen a decline in Facebook usage over the years, right? For example. So if your base gets too small, then you're just kind of broadcasting to people that aren't there. You know what I mean? So you want to keep the base somewhat like in the thousands, but don't be scared off by the fact that it's not 100,000 or it's not 1 million people. Because what you're going to find is that those leads that you have narrowed it down to are way more valuable. They're more likely to click your ad because you were so specific. So let's say I did a broadcast to millions, right? Well, I might get more clicks, but I might not get as many people, probably will not get as many people that actually purchase the thing, right? So let's say I might get 100 clicks, but like 4 people buy, right? Whereas if I set out my ads to 5,000 and I get 100 clicks, I might get 50 people that buy, because the people that are getting the ad are more likely to be interested in what I'm selling. See what I mean? So, and it's a whole lot cheaper to advertise to 5,000 people than it is to advertise to 5 million people. Like, significantly cheaper. And those clicks that you're getting with those 100 clicks are going to be, there'd be better clicks. So, I mean, the people that come through, even if they don't buy, you can still tag that they clicked your ad, and you can go back and re-advertise to them later. You know what I mean? So it does benefit you to really narrow down your avatar just for advertising purposes alone, because you will find, and keep in mind that it's kind of a living document, right? As you grow your business and you move things around, you're going to want to go back to it and be like, is this still accurate? because as you start making sales and as you start moving things around, you're going to start to see, oh, wait, haha, it wasn't 50-year-olds, it was 40-year-olds. Let me change that real quick. Or find out that men are more interested in their product than women, that kind of thing, right? So it's really important to realize that this is all like a work in progress. It's all a living document, which basically means a document that you can go back and change constantly. It's never really done. And that's not a bad thing. You kind of want to have that because it allows you to be able to pivot and move and make sure that everything is as accurate as it can be for the moment that you're in. The world changes constantly, right? So you want to be able to change with it. So that is really kind of a short answer. It's kind of a shorter video today, I guess, about how you can take a customer avatar, create it, but then apply it to your outreach. And, it doesn't, just a quick note, it doesn't need to be, for this outreach part of it, it doesn't need to be something like, buy my product now. It can be just a matter of awareness, which does play in. It's a lot harder to measure, but awareness does help you create longer term relationships with your clients. So awareness can be things like sign up for my email list. It can be, hey, I'm giving a free webinar. Hey, let me go to a town hall and give a quick presentation about how does CX help you enhance your business, right? Those kinds of things. There are town leadership things everywhere. Those kinds of people are typically really well connected. So those are the kind of people that you want to get in with, especially for if you're trying to market to local businesses, that kind of thing. So it kind of depends. Like if you are building up this like rapport with everyone, what happens is that you'll start to get like referrals and things like that just by being present. So that is just creating awareness. I didn't get the $1 today, but I got $10 tomorrow, so it does add up. It does matter. And the avatar, as long as you're kind of looking at whatever you're making against that avatar you made, because it's basically like creating a set of goals. You create a goal list at the beginning of the year, and this avatar, pretend that's the goal list. I'm taking everything that I'm doing and I'm taking it and I'm looking at this avatar and going, does this match what I said I was going to do? Right? And again, living document, if this has to change because you're realizing that this isn't quite accurate, that's fine. But then you still take the product that you're making or the service that you're providing or your nonprofit goal and you're applying it to this avatar and saying, does this match up? Do I need to change the wording in here to better accurately impact or reflect this customer avatar? That's how you use it in real life. You're just making sure that you are sticking with your goals and your mission, because we all know it's a lot easier to do one thing really well than 10 things kind of half-assed, right? So you want to just kind of make sure that everything that you're doing matches up and is in line with this goal that you have set, which is the avatar. So I hope that has been helpful. I know a lot of people tend to talk about how, like I said at the beginning, how these things are made, but not really talk about like the real world usage of an avatar, and in, user experience, customer experience, like human-centered design, all that stuff. It's really important to have a base, to have that avatar, because you're able to then go back and make sure that you are meeting the goals and the needs and the wants of that avatar. And that's what ensures your success, because you're holding true to what you have been told, right? What you have built up. So all good stuff. Please give this a like, subscribe. I am trying to get my subscriber count up. YouTube doesn't care, but sponsors do. So thanks so much, guys. I appreciate your support. Take care. Have a good one. See you next Sunday. Bye.